Willie, congratulations. Such a well-deserved award.
Thank you. I think you took all my lines when you were... But anyhow, we'll mosey on here.
So when Aidan wins a prize, he thanks Mary, Pat, Stephen and George and everyone. I know Jackie has been a huge part of... Your parents have been a huge part. Just tell us a little bit about the people behind Willie Mullins.
Well, my wife Jackie, fantastic. She's in London this evening at another event like this. Anyhow, I'm here. I'm here in the important place. And Jackie, then my son Patrick, who's assistant trainer, David Casey, assistant trainer, Ruby Walsh, who comes in 2 or 3 days a week, but a huge part of it because of his experience with all the English racetracks and just his experience riding. So it's fantastic to have, people like that to access information when I want to. And then we have everyone else down the yard. And what I love about our industry is, you were saying it's worth $3 billion to the Irish economy. We get, about 79 million, I think, from the government during the year. And we get a lot of stick from different political parties for that, but it's worth, for every million they give, we give 35 million back to the economy in Ireland, and that's, I think that has to be said with this new government forming, and it's worth it. And what I love, I was just going through my own staff today. And I'd never sort of looked at it. And I just asked my man in the office who does our wages and everything like that, and I said, actually, what's our male and female ratio? And it's 50-50, which I think is extraordinary for, racing was always about men in it. But we have, Rachel Blackmore, I think, is a previous recipient of this award. And, she's out injured at the moment, but she'll be back by Christmas. But the amount of girls who they can compete on level terms with men in our industry, which I think is fantastic.
Now, one of your adages, yes, indeed, one of your great adages is, don't give me a good horse, give me a good owner. You have been really fantastic. And foreign owners and so on, and this creates economic wealth as well. Just tell us about your relationship with owners.
Do you want to ask Michael O'Leary or? But anyhow, no,
he's back with you.
He is. No, Michael, we never fell out. We just had a difference of opinion, and that's, I think it's the same in any business. All the business people here, I'm flabbergasted at the range of businesses here. You never fall out with your customers. As I see in my local publican, James Keogh, who's a fellow countyman of yours.
He drinks more Armagnac in the Lord Bagnall than anyone else.
But, I love the way he deals with different customers, and I learn from him, and I say, you know what, people have their own way of going. We have disagreements, but you don't have to fall out. And that's the way I've looked at my business over the years. You move on, you have a little disagreement, and 3 or 4 years later, people come back and do business with you because they realize, you were fair in the first place.
You've had some legendary horses. The Fly, Hurricane Fly, his record at Leopardstown was phenomenal. Florida Pearl really kicked it all off. Annie Power, Dovan, Faugheen, and now you've won the Gold Cup with Galopin de Champs, the 2-mile chase with Energumene. Just tell us, what are the kind of 4,500 winners you're very close to now? Just what for you stands out?
We've had some wonderful days, and I can't say, I'm not going to nominate horses, but being a family man, and I have one son, Patrick, him riding a winner for me in Cheltenham, thing like that. I love the Grand National we won, but
he's an amateur, by the way.
Yeah, so when you can put your son into the limelight and put him up there to win a gold medal at whatever, or like.
And you're an average jockey yourself.
It was, but you won a few quid on me over the years, I'd say, yeah.
And just looking forward, because they look very rich, but there's a lot of greedy and grasping people here. When you go look at the horses at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, is there any young horse that makes your heart skip a beat? You've seen it all. You can have injuries. Is there any horse, or even for Christmas?
Look, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I see.
No, people have this myth that trainers get up at 5:30 and 4:30, and no, I don't. I've got a lovely lifestyle. I live down at Carlow. I get up in the morning, I look at Mount Leinster, the sun coming out over it, down over the Barrow Valley. The violins should be coming in at this stage now. But, and so, I do things reasonably. We start at I start at 8 o'clock on the gallop, and we do our horses throughout the morning. I always think that other people's horses are up too early, and they're flagged by the time we come to race. But
is there any horse that you might suggest we might follow? For Christmas, for Cheltenham, like Ballyburn is a horse that actually I'm
going to have to congratulate Port West here, Cathal Hughes and Harry. And I just say, Harry, will you give Cathal all the champagne you can for the next month, because the way Westport Cove worked this morning, we won't be celebrating any champagne. But anyhow, so congratulations. Okay. Fantastic.
All right. There's one or two races you haven't won. The Melbourne Cup is one. Is there any particular challenge, like you've tried with Vauban a couple of times now and other horses? Is there any, you've won an Irish Classic with Wicklow Brave, the Ledger, you've won the Japan Cup, you've won so many races. Is there any, like you've won all the top grade ones at Cheltenham, is Grand Nationals?
I'd love to win the Ascot Gold Cup, I'd love to win the French Gold Cup. And, I mean, the Melbourne Cup is the one we all want to win. And delighted to meet the Charge d'Affaires from Australia this evening. Thank you. We'll be back. And Absurd ran a great race this year. He'll be back next year. And we've one or two others, I think, in the pipeline as well. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, he is a legend.
You forgot the question.
Tell me.
Well, the one thing everyone asks me, before I go, Willie.
Sorry, I could ask you about, he's a fetish about his shoes being polished. He always wears gloves. He is meticulously turned out. He keeps pet roosters at home. What is it I'm supposed to?
Willie, a winner.
That's what I was trying to ask you for the last 2 minutes.
But hold on, yeah.
Now, can I just tell you about Willie? I was in Galway Ring one day, and I'd had $2,000 on a horse, and it was actually one of yours owned by Michael O'Leary. And I said, I'm after backing this, Willie, am I okay? He said, Ivan, whatever you've had on, you haven't enough on. The Feck and Yoke finished 5th, but carry on.
Anyhow, one for the week, two for the weekend. Yes. First two races in Navan on Saturday. One is called Cade Doty, and the other one is called, it begins with a K as well. Yeah, okay. But anyhow, the first two races.
Will Paul ride?
Paul will be riding the two of them, yeah. But anyhow, the first two races. So.
First double on Saturday at Navan.
And I'd have to tell you that I had a horse for a small syndicate down in Kerry one time, and the horse ran bad about 4 times in a row, and every time the horse ran bad, I'd say, by the way, we'll win the last. And of course, the last time the horse ran, the guys said, Willie, we can't afford your tips anymore. So be careful about Saturday. But anyhow, that's...
Ladies and gentlemen, a legend representing Ireland's contribution to the world.